Dr. Rebecca Bogie. I teach accounting, and I'm also the assistant dean in the College of Business. This will be the end of 5 years full-time and about a year before that as an adjunct instructor. Well, I start every morning on computer looking at the Wall Street Journal, which we have as a free subscription here at LSUS. I promote that all I can. But several times a week I also review sort of professional magazines in the field of accounting and finance to stay up to speed on current trends and regulations and things like that. I do most of my actual book reading in the evenings when I'm just sitting at home, or audiobooks in my car because I spend a lot of time driving. So I actually consume the most books, as it were, via audiobooks today. I do have to listen to the audiobooks at increased speed though, because most people read too slow for me. So I'm usually at like 1.2 to 1.5 speed to be able to pay attention.
So what are you currently reading and why did you choose it?
So I actually typically have like 4 to 5 books underway at once, and I kind of cycle through them depending on my mood and energy level. I've got a biography of Patrick Stewart, which is one of the actual physical books I'm reading in the evenings. Another book called Outlive, which is kind of a health-focused book. For audiobooks, I have a huge selection. One called Comet by Carl Sagan, which is like a science book. I've got a fictional novel about dragons, so I do like the occasional sci-fi novel thrown in there. Plus, my current favorite fiction author, whose name is China Mieville, he writes in a genre called New Weird Fiction, and he's a multiple award-winning author, and I am just enjoying going through his catalog right now.
Is there any book that changed your perspective or even provided insight to you on leadership?
So it actually took me a while to think through this question when I was preparing for this. But there's one book that I have reread since I was a teenager. It's called The Hiding Place by Corrie ten Boom, and she was a person who lived in Amsterdam during World War II, and it's a autobiography of her and her family during World War II, helping to hide and transport Jews away from the Nazis. It's one of those stories that I just read whenever I need some mental courage about how bad life can get and staying true to your principles even in the toughest of times.
If you were going to write a book, have you ever thought of what that would be about?
Oh, it would absolutely be a mystery novel with a wonderful sort of quirky but brilliant detective, something in the Hercule Poirot domain of Agatha Christie.
How did you become a reader?
So my mom was always a reader, but we lived in a small mountain town while I was growing up, 30 miles from the nearest sort of even Shreveport kind of size city. In the mountain towns of Colorado, you get snow. So there are times of the year, right, where you just don't really drive anywhere. And I'm old enough that there weren't great TV channels back then either. So reading was just a great hobby to have. And the bookmobile would come from town 2 times a month out to our town, since we weren't big enough to have our own library, and we didn't even have a library inside the school. Read whatever you can and read often. It makes a difference.